All right. Good morning. This is, as far as this is the end of the project, I think. Just gonna test sew with this and see how things are going. I've wiped up a lot of the oil that I put in there to get it to loosen up. It's still in good shape, I think. It's a bit stiff, so I don't have instructions, so I don't know what this lever on top is supposed to do. I thought it was to switch between zigzag and straight stitch, but it doesn't seem to do that. So I'm not really sure how it is supposed to operate. But anyhow, first things first, I need to wind a bobbin. And I'm going to load this with contrasting thread so it can be tested. But the way this machine thread path works, there's a hook here for bobbin winding to go around this tension button. So I'm going to hook the thread through that little hole, goes around this eye, and then the spiral here. And I need to put a bobbin on there. I'm going to undo the clutch. And okay. Just had to check which way the winder runs. Loop this the right way around the winder. Engage it. Find the correct pedal for the machine. Oh. Okay. That's weird. The light is dimming when I run it. I'm getting a mild smoke smell, so maybe my wiring is not right. I checked that. I'm also going to have to adjust the tension on this because it's not pressing tightly enough against the it's not pressing the rubber tire tightly enough against the machine, against the flywheel here. So, I guess I have to stop and open this back up and I wonder if that pedal's getting warm. Let's check that. Pedal's not getting warm. I kind of want to test this right away, so I guess I'm going to readjust the bobbin winder later. For now, we'll tighten this clutch back up, and I have some wound bobbins, so I'm going to just unthread the bobbin winding section. Finish threading the machine. So the tensioners on these style machines, and I guess Kenmore kept them or kept buying from the same one. So through this loop here, and every machine you get is going to have an upper thread guide, tensioner, take up arm, and then it goes down through the needle. So On these tensioners, the key is there's this little spring arm here, and you have to make sure and pull the thread behind that string arm, and then there's another finger over here on this side of the tensioner that it has to go under, so that when you tug here, this little spring arm picks it up. Now, this take-up arm doesn't have a big slit on the top, so you actually have to thread through the hole in this take-up arm. And then, when you do this, you have to make sure that when I pulled that, it made a loop, but you got to make sure that it doesn't twist there under this hook. And now, because this needle has the eye facing to the side, I need to thread it from outside to inside. And there's also a little thread guide there. So that's that. Now I need to grab another bobbin. There, that one's low on contrasting. So, I like to have the bobbin unroll the way that this finger points, so the finger on this side, the thread comes up on this side, and then make sure you pull it all the way up under the spring. So, and then in these cases, I was going to say, it's always challenging to load the bobbin in these cases because there's just not a lot of room there. Lift up and get the bobbin case out and make sure it's there. Make sure it's properly loaded and free again, and I'm just gonna tip this so I have lots of room to stick that in. Alright. And I didn't get it popped all the way on there anyway. Why did I miss the lock on that? Apparently this is not a morning for this. Alright. Okay, now I got that locked in place. Rotate gently. There we are. Have my tails out. Let's So this is set for full length stitch. Cool. Pull and divide it, and a couple stitches are actually pretty even there, so let's do a longer stretch. Still a little bit. Do a shorter stitch this time so we get more stitches. Need this top tension a little bit tighter. It is missing a lot of stitches here. Let's see. I'm certain this top tension disc is not involved because that's just supposed to be for bobbin lining. Let's see if we can. This is missing about half, 3 or 4 out of every stitch. So I'm going to have to check the hook on the bottom and see how things are going down there. Interesting. All right, well. Oh, that's what it is. That is a tacking stitch that's in there, so it's got a regular, it's got a straight stitch, a zigzag, and a tack. Okay. It's still missing all the stitches though. It's just not connecting underneath. So, let's start with a new needle, because sometimes a bad needle can cause a lot of issues. So, and if a new needle doesn't solve this, then, or rather a different needle. Check to make sure this is looks straight and flat. So make sure it's in nice and straight. The reason why you snip your threads is just so that the end is nice and square to thread with. Anyhow, alright. So, let's see here. Well, the new needle means it's picking the stitches up properly, so that's good. But my top thread broke, so thread. Let's see if we get another. See how it goes this time. All right. Go. I guess this thread, I did just grab this out of a bag, and I think maybe this upper thread is one that I determined was not strong enough for most machine stitching, because it is a bit thinner than my bottom bobbin thread. So, but we can look nice tight stitches there, so a longer stitch in here. That longer stitch skipped 2 places. It missed a stitch, but I was going pretty fast, and that does happen when you're stitching quickly with not quite the right thread in place. So, but otherwise it's an even stitch. Cool. And time to try the zigzag. So if you want to manually do decorative stitching, you can lift the width thing and put a stitch or 2 in. But there's also this block knob, so I'm just going to set the width to maximum and check that the camera is still recording, because I don't know how long I've been at this. Alright, well, I'm going to have to look deeper into this machine, because you can see this is supposed to be a zigzag and it's not catching the inside. The hook is not traveling in properly, and it's not catching on the hook when it goes on the inside. So either I did not get the insides loosened up enough, because the bobbin case has to shift to match the needle on these side load machines. So I either didn't get that linkage loose enough so it's shifting properly to catch the needle, or there's something wrong with the hook down there. So I'm going to have to pop this machine open and take another look in it and do a more thorough cleaning and adjustment on the inside. So, but it straight stitches okay, which is nice. And I guess we'll be back at this. And I need to toss this needle out because it looks okay, but it doesn't catch enough stitches, so there's got to be something wrong with it.